Hi everyone. Welcome back to our Power BI tutorial. In this lesson, we're going to dive deeper into Power Query transformations and learn how to manage columns and rows in more detail. We'll start by creating a new blank PBIX file, then connect to our SQL database. From there, we'll import the orders table from the CHTS database. Next, click Transform Data to open the Power Query editor, where we can prepare and shape the information we need. In the previous video, we explored how to manage columns using the commands in the Home tab. For example, using Remove Columns to delete fields we don't need. However, sometimes a query contains a large number of columns, and it can be hard to find the ones you want. In that case, there's a quicker way. Click the Choose Columns option. This lets you select only the columns you want to keep, automatically removing all others. So here, I'll select about 20 columns, including customer number, defective rate, store number, order date, and so on. Once I click OK, you'll notice that a new step appears in the Applied Steps pane called Removed Other Columns. So when you're working with a large dataset and only need a few fields, Choose Columns is a more efficient option than Remove Columns. You can also reorder columns by dragging them. For example, let's move the order number column to the first position. Next, it's very important to make sure each column has the correct data type. Any column showing as any type should be updated to a specific type. For example, order number should be a whole number, an 8-byte integer. Season should be text, which is already correct. Unit retail should be a fixed decimal number, also known as the currency type. As a best practice, always assign the right data types as early as possible. That's because data types affect which transformations you can perform later in Power Query, as well as performance and storage efficiency. We choose data types based on how each column will be used, and also consider storage implications. It's also a good idea to rename columns for clarity and consistency. Meaningful column names improve readability and make it easier for others to understand your dataset. Clear names also help the Q&A feature in Power BI deliver better results and promote consistency throughout your data model. Now let's look at how to split a column. Here, we can see that the SKU description column contains two parts. A number followed by text, separated by a hyphen symbol. To split it, click Split Column on the Home ribbon. From the drop-down menu, choose by delimiter. Then select the hyphen symbol as the delimiter and choose leftmost delimiter. Click OK, and you'll see that the column is split into two separate parts. The first part automatically changes to a whole number data type. If you prefer to keep the original data type, you can simply click Undo in the Applied Steps pane. Now, let's take a look at how to add new columns in Power Query using a few different techniques. First, let's add date-based columns. We have a column named Order Date, but we don't have a separate year column yet. To create one, go to the Add Column tab at the top. Then move over to the From Date and Time group. With the Order Date column selected, click the small drop-down arrow next to Date. If we scroll down a bit, we can see options to extract different parts of the date, like year, month, quarter, and so on. Let's choose Year. Once you click it, you'll see that a new column appears at the end of the query called Year. Similarly, you can also add columns for month, quarter, week, or day, all extracted directly from the same order date column. Next, let's create a new column to calculate total sales for each row. In our dataset, we already have shipped quantity and unit retail, but we don't have a column showing the total value of each sale. To create this, hold down the Control key and select both the shipped quantity and unit retail columns. Then, under the Add Column tab, go to the From Number group. Click Standard, and then choose Multiply. This will multiply the two selected columns together and create a new column with the results. Now, let's rename this column to something more meaningful. Instead of multiplication, we'll call it total sales PQ, where PQ stands for Power Query, just to remind us that this column was created in Power Query, not in the data model. We'll discuss calculated columns created using DAX later in the data modeling section. To quickly summarize the key differences. Columns added in Power Query are created during the data preparation stage, before loading data into the model. They cannot reference relationships or measures, unlike DAX calculated columns. And they are created using the M language, not DAX. Next, let's add a conditional column. Right now, we have a day of week column, but we'd like to identify whether each day is a weekend or not. We know that 0 stands for Sunday and 6 stands for Saturday. Both are weekends. So, let's build that logic. Select the day of week column, then click the Add Column tab, and choose Conditional Column. This opens the Conditional Column dialog box, where we can define our logic. Let's name the new column as Weekend. Then we'll add the conditions like this. If day of week equals 0, the output should be true, because it's Sunday. Else if day of week equals 6, the output should also be true, because it's Saturday. Otherwise, we'll output false. Click OK, and now we'll see a new column called as Weekend added to our table. You might notice that its data type is showing as ABC123, which means any. We'll want to change that. Click the data type icon next to the column name, scroll down, and choose True/False to set the correct data type. Now we've successfully created several types of new columns: date-based, calculated, and conditional, all within the Power Query editor. Now, let's see how to reduce rows in Power Query. Before we start removing any rows, let's first take a quick look at the different options available in the Power Query editor for this task. On the Home tab, if you move toward the middle of the ribbon, you'll find a group of commands called Reduce Rows. This section provides several ways to manage and clean up your data. If we click the drop-down arrow next to Remove Rows, you'll see multiple options such as remove top rows or bottom rows, remove alternate rows, remove duplicates, etc. Each of these options lets you eliminate unnecessary data before loading it into your model. Right next to it, there's also a command called Keep Rows, which essentially works the opposite way. Here you can choose to keep top rows, keep bottom rows, keep duplicates, etc. So between remove rows and keep rows, Power Query gives you flexible tools to control exactly which records stay in your dataset. Now let's apply this to our order date dataset. Select the order date column, then click the drop-down arrow next to it. You'll notice several filtering options. Let's choose Between, which opens a dialog box that lets us specify conditions for filtering. For example, we can choose to keep only the rows where the order date falls between January 1st, 2024 and January 1st, 2025. Once we set these filters, click OK. You'll see that the filter icon now appears next to order date, indicating that a filter has been applied. If we check the Applied Steps pane on the right, we'll see that a Filtered Rows step has been added, confirming that the rows have been successfully filtered. Finally, when everything looks good, click Close and Apply on the Home ribbon to load the managed columns and filtered rows into the data model. To wrap up, in this lesson we learned how to manage and format columns, assign correct data types, split and add new columns, and reduce rows, all using the Power Query editor. In the next video, we'll explore how to append and merge queries to combine data from different sources for our data model. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to support our work and stay updated with upcoming Power BI lessons.